Yo, this is part 3 of my analysis of a horrible, edgy short film I made in high school, so if you haven't watched the first 2 parts yet, you'll probably be a bit confused, but whatever. Let's get into this shit. As you may recall, Act 1 of my short film ended in Dwayne marching towards suicide, and Act 2 ended with Vincent the Atheist killing God. And now, we're at the third and final act, the act by which my short film earns its name, Vincent and Dwayne Seek Vengeance. And if you thought Act 2 was edgy with all the atheist shit, well, you better buckle up, buckaroos! It's about to get so edgy that even I want to vomit. Act 3 begins with Vincent sporting his typical coconut head haircut and plaid jacket, sitting sad and alone on a park bench, a real change in attitude from when we last saw him. Then the sad and lonely Dwayne wanders over and approaches our atheist anti-hero. The duo recognizes each other's sorrow, and this begins a conversation.
What's wrong with you?
That's none of your business.
Okay, sorry. You just seem sad. I'm sad too.
What are you sad about?
Dwayne gives us a quick recap of what happened in his story, and then Vincent tells us about everything that happened after he killed God.
I'm sorry, man. I'm lonely too.
Why are you lonely?
It all started a couple weeks ago when I killed God. And then I decided I was the new God, and I told everybody to give me their money, which they did. But then I got too greedy. I told everybody they have to love me more than they love their parents, more than they love their husbands and wives, more than they love their kids. And they didn't like that. So I got angry, and I told them I was gonna kill them all in a flood. And then they hated me. They made me an outcast. Now I'm more of an outcast than ever.
Alright, 2 things about that speech. First of all, you might not have noticed it, but on that bench in the background is all of my camera gear that I didn't realize was in the shot. Boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder. And then there's the contents of the speech itself. I think the point I was trying to make was that Vincent is a huge fucking asshole as proven by his scenes in the church, so naturally when he became God, he continued being a huge fucking asshole, and it just so happens that all the asshole shit he did as God is the same exact stuff that God himself did in the Bible, which I guess was my way of cinematically saying that God is an asshole. So yeah, there you go. I finally figured out what the fuck I was thinking when I wrote this character. Anyway, the plot relevance of this speech is that everybody grew to hate Vincent and now he's as sad and lonely as ever.
Why were you so mean to them? Sounds like you sorta got what you had coming.
What did I do wrong? I was their God and they didn't do what I said. They deserved to suffer.
I guess so.
Vincent and Dwayne then sit together in silence for an unnecessarily long amount of time before Dwayne comes up with the bright idea that the 2 of them can stop being lonely if they just become friends. Vincent accepts this idea, and the closest thing to a wholesome moment in the entire film comes to an end so that maximum edginess can follow right behind.
You know, both can stop being so lonely. Just became friends.
You and me, friends? You know, that sounds like a good idea. My name's Vincent, by the way.
My name's Dwayne.
We then get some establishing shots of the inside of my grandma's garage. I thought it would be the perfect location for Vincent's clubhouse since it's all dirty and looks like shit, but of course my dad keeps his bright and shiny red boat there, and I had no way of getting it out on the day we were filming, so for no fucking reason Vincent has a nice boat sitting in his murky lair. Haha, boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Well, here it is, Dwayne. My hangout. I do lots of cool atheist stuff in here. You know, eating babies, watching child pornography, worshiping Satan, all the normal stuff.
So the joke there is that typical atheist activities include eating babies, watching child porn, and worshiping Satan. Which I guess is a fine joke, but keep in mind I made this for my high school's film club and showed it to an audience of students and teachers. Just thinking about it now makes my stomach hurt. And in case it wasn't obvious, yes, Film Club was pretty much canceled a few days after this video premiered. But we're not even to the worst of it yet. Dwayne then elaborates on the humiliation he feels from being rejected by girls, and Vincent sympathizes with him with a story of how he faced similar rejection when he came out to his family as being atheist.
So what was up with that company thing you were telling me about?
I applied for a dating service to try and find me a date for prom for Saturday, but it didn't work out at all.
Why didn't you just find a date for yourself?
I tried. Well, the girl said no. One of them even laughed at me.
She did?
Yeah. She laughed, and the entire hallway laughed. Never been so humiliated in my life.
I know how you feel. When I came out to my family about being atheist, my grandma laughed at me and told me I was a huge idiot. Then she kept going on and on about how God is all around me and how I'm gonna burn in hell if I don't start thinking straight. It was awful.
Man, I know how you feel. Grandmas aren't supposed to be like that.
Now, thankfully, this speech isn't as cringy as it could have been. In reality, my family didn't give a single fuck about me being atheist because none of them are particularly religious themselves, so I wasn't basing this part of the character off of my real life or anything. If that had been the case, and I was somehow getting back at my family with this movie, then I'd probably have already killed myself from complete and utter embarrassment. After giving this speech, Vincent realizes how unfair life is and that guys like him and Dwayne have to suffer while everyone else gets to enjoy themselves. And the speech I give sounds eerily similar to stuff you'd find in Elliot Rodger's manifesto, which again is bizarre, as this was filmed a full year before Elliot Rodger wrote his manifesto.
Dwayne, isn't it strange that other people can make our lives so miserable and get away with it? I mean, we're so sad and lonely, and they're out there having fun. That girl who laughed at you, she's probably getting ready for prom right now. And my grandma, she's probably watching a soap opera and having the time of her life. How is that fair?
It isn't fair.
Vincent then becomes inspired and decides it's about time they got revenge on the world for treating them so poorly. He fetches a pair of guns that he just happens to have for some reason, and he starts trying to convince Dwayne that they should seek justice together.
Look, I've got one for you and one for me. We can get revenge on everybody who made our lives so miserable.
But we'll get caught and go to prison.
Prison? Who cares about prison? How can prison be any worse than their lives right now? I mean, what do we really have to live for out here anyway?
Nothing.
That's right, nothing. So let's give ourselves something to live for. Let's get revenge on all of our enemies.
So the duo agrees to go out in a blaze of glory by killing everybody who made their lives miserable. And then we get a time skip, and suddenly Vincent is wearing a fucking black cloak for some reason. It's not only edgy, it's fucking retarded and embarrassing in every possible way. Was it an ironic choice? Boy, I sure do fucking hope it was. I sure do hope it was. Vincent and Dwayne go their separate ways to get revenge and agree to meet back at the hangout once they've slaughtered their prey. This leads to a scene of my grandma, my very wonderful and caring grandma who has been putting up with my dumb bullshit for decades now, cleaning the dishes, and then my younger cousin runs in and they have a dialogue.
Well, did you ask for it back?
Yes, she said no.
Well, honey, you need to go find a better toy to play with. That way it'll make her jealous. Do you understand?
Yeah!
It wasn't bad enough that I forced my friends to be in this edgy piece of shit movie, but I dragged my family into it too. I'm pretty sure my cousin was like 8 years old or some shit. Anyway, next up comes the, oh man. I really don't want to show this. I just, it's not flattering for me in the least. I make some choices with my face and with zooming in, and yeah. It's not the best look for me. Just watch it, I guess.
Old hag!
What did you do to my grandma?
Yup! That's the face of Mumkey Jones! And you people wonder why I wear a mask in most of my videos. Oh wait, no you don't! You always call me fucking hideous! But you know what? At least I had no shame. Which I guess isn't really a compliment, is it? Fuck it. So Vincent shoots his cousin and runs off, and then we see what Dwayne has been up to. Believe it or not, I actually got into a girl's bedroom in high school. But it wasn't to have sex, it was to film her getting killed in my edgy movie. I think the scene was supposed to come off as edgy and comedic, but it's just uncomfortable. I think the actress did too good of a job at being fearful for her life, but considering the fact that she was home alone with me and the guy playing Dwayne, maybe she wasn't acting after all.
Oh my gosh, Becca, did you see her today? Yeah, a ponytail, 2 days in a row. Gosh, I cannot believe some people. Oh no, it would not surprise me if she was pregnant. I mean, come on. Hang on, someone's knocking on my door. Dwayne? What are you doing in my house?
Remember when you laughed at me when I asked you to prom?
Yeah, so? Oh!
Well, who's laughing now?
I'm so sorry, please don't hurt me. I'll go to prom with you, I promise.
Okay, I'll pick you up at 7.
As it turns out, the actress had no idea what she had signed up for, because when she saw the final product, she was fucking pissed. I mean, mad. She straight up told me if she knew what the film was about, she wouldn't have agreed to be in it. Which really, I think is more of her problem. I mean, what the fuck did she think the movie was about when her scene is her getting fucking murdered in her bedroom? I think she's actually pursuing acting now or something, so hopefully one day I can add this to her IMDb page. And finally, we come to the end of this unwatchable horseshit. The boys meet up at their rendezvous point, but Dwayne is being followed by the police. There are a few key things to mention about what happens next, but I'll just play the scene first.
What the hell is going on?
I got caught trying to escape! There's cops everywhere! What do we do?
What do we do? What do we do? I'll tell you what we do, Dwayne. Listen up, coppers! You're wasting your time by coming here! You know why? Because I'm the author of my own destiny! I play by my own rules, and if you think you're gonna take me down, then you're out of your mind! Dwayne, I love you.
Alright, the first thing that I think is worth noting is that Vincent's final speech was inspired by the episode of Survivor where Brandon Hance loses his mind.
I'm the author of my fate, buddy. I'm the author of my fate.
Because I'm the author of my own destiny!
You would think my shooter's final speech would be inspired by Columbine or Virginia Tech, but no, it was just the most recent episode of Survivor. And then we've got Vincent killing himself, but not before confessing his love for Dwayne and kissing him. I originally wanted the kiss to be on the lips, but the actor playing Dwayne was not having it, so I had to settle for the cheek. And you're probably tired of hearing me say this, but I have absolutely no idea what I was thinking here. So I guess Vincent is secretly gay for Dwayne? What does that say about his character? I can't say, but my teachers who tried to get me expelled had a couple ideas. Anyway, the film ends with what I think is a pretty comedic moment of everything getting louder and louder and Dwayne yelling, "What the fuck?" But then it cuts to credits before he finishes the word. And that's all, folks! The end of my edgy 23-minute short film. But that's not the end of the story. Because as I've been alluding to this whole time, I showed this during film club, and it almost got me expelled. After the film's premiered during film club, I got the same lukewarm reception from the audience that I got from all my other work. Nobody ever gave a fuck because my films were all awful and everybody knew it. But then, the next day at school, first thing in the morning, I hear over the intercom,
"Mumkey Jones, please report to the guidance office."
And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Usually when I hear my name over the intercom, it's because I'm being called to the principal's office to get yelled at for whatever dumb shit I said during lunch the previous day, but never before had I been called to the guidance office. You know how I've spent this whole video series saying I don't know what I was thinking when I was making this film? Well, it turns out the guidance counselor, my English teacher who ran film club, and the principal of the school all thought that they knew exactly what my film was about. And they literally thought I was planning a school shooting and also wanted to kill myself. They set me down in the guidance office and one of them blocked the door like I was gonna try and make a run for it. And the guidance counselor says to me, "Mumkey, we want to talk to you about the film you presented in film club yesterday. It has us concerned for your mental health and the safety of your classmates. Tell us, are you depressed?" And now I'm thinking, fuck! Of course I was depressed, and it was pretty obvious to just about anybody who spent more than 5 minutes with me during my senior year of high school, but now I was being forced into a situation where I had to prove I wasn't depressed, otherwise they'd think I was gonna be a school shooter. Or at least that's what I thought would happen. So I tried to talk myself out of it by saying, "Oh no, you misunderstood. The film is just supposed to be a dark comedy. I'm not depressed, I'm not suicidal, I don't want to hurt anybody. I've just got a twisted sense of humor and I thought this film would be funny." And then they played the final scene of the film where I kiss Dwayne and then kill myself. And then my fucking English teacher who ran film club asks me, "Are you feeling depressed because you feel like you can't be open about your sexuality?" And at this point I'm thinking, what in the fuck? Are you even legally allowed to ask me shit like that? What the fuck? So I say, nah, it's just a character. Not everything somebody writes is autobiographical. You're the English teacher. Shouldn't you understand this basic shit? Okay, so I didn't exactly say that, but it was something close enough. Anyway, I spent the next 20 minutes defending myself and trying to prove that the piece was just a work of fiction, but those motherfuckers ended up calling my parents to say they thought I was suicidal, and then my English teacher canceled film club since the president, me, premiered such an inappropriate film, which, to be fair, I did do that. The sad thing is, I was really close with that English teacher, which is why I asked her to endorse film club in the first place, but after she tried to accuse me of being a suicidal danger to my classmates because of a shitty movie I made, our relationship was pretty fucked. And that's the story of the edgy short film I made in high school that almost got me expelled. I guess the moral of the story is, If you want to make edgy art, wait until you're out of high school, because high school teachers are literally fucking retarded, which is why they're teaching high school. College, on the other hand, is a great place to do edgy shit. I was an English major, and my senior project was my edgy school shooter book, The Triflers, and the entire English department read it and loved it, and I got a B+. So yeah, go be edgy in college. If you're in high school, keep that shit PG, or else they'll call your parents and accuse you of being a closet homosexual.
All right, Alexa, I did it. Your stupid punishment is over. I reviewed my horrible short film. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go in the other room and jerk off to my old high school yearbook photos.
Hey, Alexa, I heard you wanted to punish Mumkey.
Yeah, that's right. He's got 2 more punishments coming his way.
Well, it looks like we have something in common. I want to punish Mumkey too. Maybe we can help each other out.
Hey everybody, thank you for watching this trilogy of videos, and if you like my work, please consider supporting me on Patreon, then you can get your name here on the list of beautiful, beautiful, sexy patrons. Also, through my Fiverr account, you can pay me to say whatever you want at the end of these videos, and for some reason, some guy paid me $25 to say, anime books are manga. Hey, how about you go fuck yourself?